Your Excellency, Prime Minister Modi ji, honorable ministers and officials from both sides, distinguished friends from media. I fondly recall sharing this podium with Prime Minister Modi ji 2 years ago. Since then, Nepal has achieved comprehensive transformation in many ways. Having reached a stage of political stability, following the recent elections, Nepal has now embarked on the journey of social economic development with the motto, Prosperous Nepal, Happy Nepalis. I have come to India this time with a mission to explore ways and means to enhance our relations to newer heights, commensurate with the realities of the 21st century. We want to erect a strong edifice of trust-based relations between two close neighbors that we are. We want to create a model relationship which makes not only us but our prosperity equally proud of our accomplishment. A relationship that is cherished forever. I would like to thank Excellency Prime Minister Modi ji for his kind words. I fully reciprocate his sentiments on the importance of Nepal-India bilateral friendship. I am thankful to the government and people of India for the warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to me and my delegation ever since our arrival in this great city. Honorable President Sri Ramnath Kovind has gracefully invited us to stay at the prestigious Rashtrapati Bhavan, and we feel honored to be guests in his home. I have brought with me warm greetings and best wishes from the people and the government of Nepal to the friendly people and the government of India. This is my second visit as Prime Minister of Nepal to India. I still have a fond memory of extensive discussion I had with Prime Minister Modi ji 2 years ago on a wide-ranging agendas of our deep and multifaceted relations. I take the visit as yet another important opportunity to continue dialogues at our highest political level. Nepal now has completed a very crucial transitional phase after completing the 3 tiers of elections and has entered into a new era and stage of economic development. During this transitional juncture, we need support and cooperation of our friends. Immediately after the federal and provincial elections in Nepal, External Affairs Ministers Sushma ji visited Nepal to convey Prime Minister Modi's message of congratulations on our election's success and best wishes for the incoming new government. I sincerely appreciate your thoughtful gesture, Excellency. Dear friends, Nepal attaches great importance to its relations with India. Our two countries enjoy age-old historical ties. Both our countries have many things to offer to each other. Interdependence takes many forms between our two countries, ranging from economical, ecological to commercial. Being close neighbors, our destiny is intertwined. Prosperity is our common goal. Relations between neighbors are different from those of others. Neighborhood realities make peaceful coexistence based on the principles of equality, justice, mutual respect and benefits, a necessity for shared destiny. Prime Minister Modi ji and I noted with satisfaction the ongoing works of EPG NIR that has been mandated to undertake the review of the overall situation of our bilateral relations and suggest measures to be taken for the future course. We are hopeful that the group will come up with useful recommendations. The Prime Minister and I had constructive deliberation on a number of specific agendas which are of our mutual interest. We exchanged views on how we can advance our cooperative relations and can make it deeper and more comprehensive. I congratulate Prime Minister Modi ji for the incredible progress India has made in the past 2 decades in every sphere of growth and development. Nepal sees this progress as an opportunity for its development as well. I shared with the Prime Minister that it is crucial for Nepal to utilize its vast untapped resources, particularly hydropower, and for that, Nepal wanted to have more investment from India's public and private sector. Both of us underlined that the early realization of the ongoing mega projects like Pancheshwar, Arunthar and Upper Karnali would generate the much desirable impetus and positive precedents for future such projects. I appreciated the Government of India's initiative to have guidelines and regulation for cross-border trade of electricity. It is definitely a step ahead. However, I conveyed Nepal's desire to see an early realization of the open market provision of the bilateral power trade agreement, which was concluded between us in 2014, thanks largely to Modi's positive direction. Nepal will have power surplus in a wet season and deficit in dry season for a few years to come, whereas India needs more power in summer. In view of this complementary of energy needs, we discussed about realization of energy banking. We also discussed about development of new transmission lines. Talking about water resources and its management, inundation has become a repeated problem during every monsoon in Nepal's lowland. We stressed on the need of finding appropriate solution to to this problem. Infrastructure and connectivity are vital agendas of our bilateral relations. We are connected by easy geography, while our cross-border infrastructure is still poor. We discussed about the need of improving and upgrading the cross-border infrastructure, including routes linking the major border points with the nearest highways on our respective sides. Cross-border railway is being developed at 2 points, and we agreed to give an early start to works on 3 other places. We also talked about early completion of works remaining 4 ICPs. Talking about connectivity, we discussed also about the possibility of being linked by river navigation. And just before we heard the commitment, listened the commitment by His Excellency Modi ji that how much India is positive to provide those facilities. And he precisely said that Nepal no more is landlocked. It was land linked, but now not only land linked, but it is connected to the waterways also. It's a matter of happiness for us. Talking about connectivity, we discussed also about the possibility of being linked by river navigation, which we discussed. Our future lies in the expansion of economic engagement, namely growth of bilateral trade, streamlining of transit facilities, and increased investment. I shared with Prime Minister Modi ji Nepal's concern about alarming scale of trade deficit and stress on the need of implementing measures to expand Nepal's export. Agriculture is one of the areas where India has made significant progress, and there is potentiality for Nepal to learn. With this in mind, I am visiting G.B. Pant University of Agriculture and Technology in Pantnagar tomorrow, and I thank the Government of India for making that arrangement. We are having a specific outcome on 3 key areas of development, namely agriculture, railways, connectivity, and waterways. As we just before listened, that Prime Minister Modi ji said that railway connectivity and construction of railways from Kathmandu to Raxaul. Also, so I needn't repeat again that, and I would like to express my happiness on that question. Prime Minister Modi ji and I also discussed about expanding the post-earthquake reconstruction project in Nepal that are being implemented under the Government of India's generous cooperation. We noted the progress of boundary-related technical works, which are being undertaken by the surveys of both sides, and had the understanding that status quo will be maintained until we start to address the problem of cross-border occupation in totality. We underlined the importance of regional and sub-regional cooperation for the common prosperity of the people in the region. Finally, dear friends, we must build on those enablers to boost our relations. We must seize the opportunity to make our relations fruitful to the lives of our people. As close neighbors, we share a common destiny which demands collective pursuit of prosperity. We agreed on the need of continuation of engagements at the highest level. I renewed the invitation to the Prime Minister Modi ji to pay a visit to Nepal at the earliest convenient time. I am hopeful that the visit would take place soon. Thank you, Modi ji, and thank you all.
Thank you, Excellency. This concludes the press event. Thank you all for joining.